suppose it's, but I mean, that's the day job, obviously, being Keith Chegwin.
It's really weird, you know. But then somebody says to you, "Oh, we want you to play your day job," and then you think, "Oh, I've got to think about it," and then that takes a lot more thought to do it, and then you've got to stick to the lines in the script, because that's what people have sort of like, you know, sat down for 8 months talking about, and changing the and to a but and a but to the there, and they don't want it moved or changed because it does work within the theme of the show. So yes, it was quite a challenge really to work on yourself than a character.
It was quite nice to see you doing the doorstep thing. That reminded me of my of watching The Big Breakfast quite a long time ago.
That's right, that's 93. Oh my god, that is a long time ago. Yes, and then I sort of emulated that again by doing sort of like a GMTV, knocking on doors, giving away money and things. So it was quite nice. Mind you, this was easier because when you're doing it live, it's a different story. You know, we like I was doing some outtakes a little while ago, and it's quite nice. You know, they showed me some of the nice clips that I remember really well. One was knocking on a door, giving a lady a cheque for £10,000, and live on telly she went, "You won't tell them we've been done for shoplifting, will you?" And the other one, we knocked on a guy's door, gave him a cheque for 10 grand, and he went, "Hey!" He jumped up and down, he was up in the air, he was doing like kangaroo bunny hops, and then he went, "It's going out live." I went, "Yeah." He went, "Oh, bugger, I've lost my benefits." You've been claiming incapacity benefits. And there he was, jumping up and down on the telly. Oh, fantastic.
I suppose you ever went into a bedroom though and a couple?
No, an old couple. No, no, we didn't. No, that was definitely Cheggers Plays Cock. That one.
that was slightly unexpected when I was watching the film, but
yes, there's a few unexpected moments that surprised people during the course of the movie. But that's quite nice. I mean, when I was given the script. I mean, because what's the word? Andy, the producer of the movies, we went out for a coffee one day, and he turned around and said, "I've got an idea for a movie." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Called Kill Keith." I thought, what on earth's this? And I thought, he went away and came back with the script. I read it, and when I read the line that it's about a television show called Crack of Dawn, oh, I've got to do that. And then I gave it to my boy to read, who's only 13, because it's not, I mean, people think it's like a gory, graphic, horrible, like all horror movies are, but it's got the 15 certificate in it, because it's sort of like, there are cheeky moments within the movie, but it's nothing that I wouldn't show to my son. But when I read the script, I thought, oh my God, I've got to do this, because it's just funny from beginning to end.
It was, you say you went for a coffee with the producer, so you knew him originally?
Yeah, Andy and I had worked together on a project many years ago in radio, business-wise, on a business front. But this was seeing Andy in a new light, because I knew he'd gone into the movies. And you know, oh, fantastic, you know, really, really chuffed for the man. And it's such a pleasure. I know he's behind the screen here. But such a pleasure to work with, you know. And also the other thing is that how him and I can sort of like, you know, be good friends and socialise or what have you, but then when it gets down to the nitty gritty, really work. You know, and that's what I loved about working with like Tony Blackburn, Russell Grant and Joe Pasquale. Yes, we all get on as like, you know, really good mates, but when it got down to it on the movie, oh my God, saw a different side of those people, you know.
It was, so basically he came up with this idea because he knew you and thought, yes, Keith will be up for this.
I think so. Do you know what? I seriously believe that when Andy came up with the name Kill Keith, I don't think he even knew the story about what was going on or what he intended to do with it. But when the script came to me and I read it, I thought, oh my gosh, you've worked wonders, because you're emulating, you know, TV as it is, breakfast telly, and that's the way TV is. But also en route, you've got these lovely little storylines happening throughout. You know, it's about a love affair between Susanna Fielding and Mark Pickering, you know, the main presenter of the show and a runner. And then you've got these other little sideline stories as well that really work, you know, throughout the whole of the movie. Then you've got the presenter of the TV show is a real bastard who people want to get rid of, but every time they try and replace him with somebody else, they get bumped off. So it's simple.
It must must be quite a nice experience getting back together with a group of people who you've worked with over the years on this.
Yes, and also people I've worked with in a different light this time round. Russell Grant and I, a lot of people don't know, but we worked together as kids. We were in the stage show called Tom Brown's School Days, and it was me, Russell Grant and Simon Le Bon, you know, all as kids working in a West End stage show. And then Tony Blackburn I worked with many years ago on Radio 1. Joe Pasquale I've bumped into and worked with on many cabaret circuit and gigs up and down the country. But to bring them all into a movie is a different scenario for all of us. It really is. I mean, I'd done a lot of movies when I was a kid. I mean, I did like, Polanski's Macbeth. I did The Optimist with Peter Sellers, Robin Hood Jr., a load of children's film adaptation movies. I did a lot of telly as well. You know, everything from sort of like Black Beauty to Open All Hours, everything you think of. But I'd sort of left that behind because of working in TV, doing presenting. But to come back on a movie, different story, because you really do have to be quite disciplined actually. But it was great to see, I mean, what's the word? It's like Tony Blackburn, you know, I was quite worried about him because he's a really good mate, and I thought, can he act? You know, I wasn't too sure. Maybe he can act the fool. But you know what? He came on set at Pinewood Studios, and I sat there and watched his dying scene. And I've seen him die on stage. But do you know what? He got a round of applause because everybody thought, oh my God, he's brilliant.
That was a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, yes. I know, fantastic. He played it really well.
I mean, that's actually quite interesting. The fact that you do have an acting background, but
yeah,
you
people
then
don't
went
know.
to presenting. Why was that?
Oh, it's only because when I started off my career, I started off as a singer, and I used to sing in all the clubs up in Liverpool. And then I got broached by a lady called June Collins, who's Phil Collins' mother, to come down to London to appear in the West End stage show with a lady called Ginger Rogers in a show called Mame. So at 11 years old, I was doing that. And then I stayed on in London and went to stage school. And literally whilst I was at stage school, this is where I did all these movies. And also, you know, TV shows and commercials and everything. But there was no money in acting. And I'll tell you an honest story, is that I was asked to do a David Niven movie, and I was asked to do a presenting job for the BBC. And I said, which one is going to pay first? Because I was out of work and I needed my flat paying. And they actually said, the BBC will pay you next month, and the movie will probably pay you in 6 months. So I did the BBC job, but it was the best thing I ever did, because I started on Saturday morning TV as a kid when I was about 18, and that put me in good stead for the future. So I did, you know, morning TV presenting kid shows, and then moved on from then on. So, you know.
There's a sort of, I will use the term veteran. I think
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
I apologise, but as a veteran presenter,
I love it.
How do you feel looking at other people doing the job? Do you ever sort of sit and look at Ant and Dec and go, I could do that so much better?
No, I look at people like Ant and Dec, and I look at BBC producers and telly people saying, get out a bit more, find some new people. I love it when fresh blood comes into the TV world, because I think, you know, our industry gets a bit staid. You know, you can count on your two hands the names of well-known entertainment presenters in our business. That's a bit of a shame, because years ago you used to keep doing this. You used to count loads of them. So I think you need fresh blood and fresh people in our industry to keep it moving and keep it motivating, keep it fresh for new ideas. You know, I think, I mean, the best thing the BBC ever did to me was sack me, you know, and get rid of me, because that allowed new people to come through, and then I could go off and do other things. It was kicking the pants for me. So I quite enjoy it.
Are we going to see you again doing something like this?
I don't know. I mean, I do enjoy the acting bit, I have to admit, although I do think it's hard work. You know, it's much easier to be yourself, you know, ad lib, suck it and see TV. But yeah, if I get offered something, I'll do it.
So you are more sort of less playing yourself as a
I don't know. I mean, I've just done Life's Too Short with Ricky Gervais as well. You know, it's really nice of him to ask us back and do something that means he trusts in you. And it's like doing this for Andy. And that is nice to be back, you know. So thank you, Tim and Andy.